Today on RMU-Live, the Saudi Arabian Prime Minister steps down, a body is found in the Ohio River, and a server steals from Heinz Ward's restaurant. All this and more coming up today on RMU-Live.
Welcome to RMU Live. Today is November 10th, 2017, and my name is Reagan Check.
And I'm Nick Hedrick. Here's what's happening now. Thursday morning, Kimberly Cook was arrested. Cook turned herself in after being accused of stealing $73,000 from Heinz Ward's Table 86. Heinz Ward responded to the situation, stating he was grateful that the unfortunate situation was stopped before it continued any further.
After stealing more than $50,000 worth of painkillers, pregnant 33-year-old UPMC pharmaceutical technician Nicole Liggett was charged. Officials saw that Liggett's fingerprint was used to access and removed all of the controlled substances.
The police have determined that a body they spotted by DeShields Locks and Dam is in a location that is unsafe for them to explore. The Coast Guard and a rescue team from Pittsburgh have been contacted to help reach the body since Moon Township does not have the resources to. The family of Shantae Rose have stated that the body is hers, but there is no proof of that at this time. And there were 6 people arrested in Allegheny County for possessing a powerful tranquilizer. The group allegedly sold $750,000 worth of tranquilizers and heroin. The suspects' ages range from mid-20s to early 30s, and this was the first bust of the size in the area. And on Thursday, Robert Bowen was arrested in Erie County. Bowen had failed to register under Megan's Law after being released from prison. He is considered a violent sexual predator. He had given an address that was not his when he initially filed under Megan's Law. He was arrested back in 2007 for indecent assault.
Monongahela police have arrested and charged George Schallenberger, a Ringgold parent, after he made threats towards teachers on social media. Schallenberger threatened to shoot the teachers. The teachers at Ringgold School District have been on strike for 17 days. And also, police have charged a man on Thursday in connection with an armed burglary in Oakland. Officials say that 24-year-old Calvin Henderson has been charged with burglary, theft, and receiving stolen property.
The 911 center will be moving. It will be moved to a call center that was originally used for U.S. Airways. This building has not been used in 5 years. The transformation process of this building will begin early next year and is expected to be up and running in 2 years.
Now let's take a look with Dylan Poe at a look with Alpha Chi Rho, who is raising money for cancer patients.
RMU students and staff might notice something surprising on their way to class. Alpha Chi Rho has been camping out here on the Nicholson lawn to raise money for a good cause.
We're doing this for the American Cancer Society. We're trying to raise money and awareness all at the same time, and it's basically one of our philanthropies for Alpha Chi Rho, or AXB, which is our fraternity.
And how long have you guys been out here?
So we set up camp on Sunday evening, and then it started raining that night, and it was pretty rough. But we've been here since Sunday evening, and we're gonna dismantle camp around Saturday or in the afternoon, I would say. And then that leads to our another event that we have, which is Cornhole for a Cure, which is basically just we're playing cornhole, and we have teams of 2, and then after that you pay like $5 each, and you just get to play a little cornhole and just raise some money.
To donate until tomorrow. Until then, they will be camped out here in the cold. Reporting for RMU Century Media, Dylan Poe.
And thank you, Dylan.
We are still a couple weeks away from Thanksgiving, so many stores are already offering Black Friday deals. However, Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart have already begun offering these deals to their customers. Some stores will be opening their doors early in the afternoon on Thanksgiving in order to get more customers. And be sure to tune into our other shows, RMU Live on Mondays and Fridays at 1 p.m., Sports Talk in the Berg on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m., and Colonial Sports Center Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. here on RMU-TV. And coming up next on RMU Live, new information about the Texas church shooter.
And a self-driving car makes its debut on Las Vegas.
Out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Oh, emojis! I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you!
She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
Help up the hand!
Ah, there you go.
Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Jane!
Tonight, along the Texas Gulf Coast, utter devastation. Harvey barreled ashore overnight, packing 130-mile-an-hour winds, blinding sheets of rain, and a treacherous storm surge.
Harvey can't mess with Texas. So donate now to help make Texas whole again.
Welcome back to RMU-Live. Republicans in Washington seem to be panicking Thursday after 4 women accused Roy Moore of having sexual relations with them when they were teenagers. Moore is the Republican nominee for the United States Senate in Alabama. Although Moore declines these allegations, officials say that if they are true, he should step aside from the election.
Devin Kelly, who is the suspect in the Texas church shooting, stated that he bought animals on Craigslist in order to kill them. This is according to a former colleague of his from the Air Force. The name of this colleague is Jessica Edwards, and she also claims that Kelly had an obsession with mass murders. She also stated that Kelly purchased puppies for, quote, target practice.
A student at the University of Kentucky who has cancer walked out to see her car covered in hateful notes. The student's name is Lexi Baskin, and she is currently going through radiation due to a tumor on her brainstem. She had parked in a handicapped spot before talking to a professor. Some people saw her walking and claimed nothing was wrong with her. Baskin posted her story to social media.
Officials estimated last year's flu vaccine effectiveness to be just 42%. This was due to the fact that mutation occurred in influenza. Officials say that the flu season may not be much better this season.
After making its big debut, the driverless bus in Las Vegas crashed 2 hours into the job. The crash, however, was determined to be the other driver's fault. Chris Barker, the spokesperson for Keolis Company, reported that it is back up and running Thursday.
Niles Hogel is serving a life sentence for 2 murders after he administered fatal doses of heart medication to people that were in his care. Toxicology tests suggest that the former nurse has murdered at least 100 people at 2 hospitals between 1999 and 2005. Also, days after Lebanese Prime Minister Saad Harari announced his resignation, Saud Ministry of Foreign Affairs advised that the country's citizens to leave Lebanon. Harari states that he resigned due to the fear of assassination. Harari hasn't stepped foot in Lebanon since his announcement.
The Russian President Vladimir Putin claims that the United States is trying to interfere in the Russian election. He states that this is in retaliation to Russia allegedly interfering with the United States election. Putin has also claimed that the United States is trying to get Russian athletes disqualified from the Olympics in order to harm his presidency.
After the capture of the last town in the country, Syria's army declared war over Islamic State on Thursday. The capture of Euphrates Valley towns and villages near the border between Iraq and Syria ended Islamic State's territorial rule. Supernovas are explosions from stars that are 8 times the mass of the sun. A 3-year-long supernova is defying what we know about the formation and death of stars. The supernova looked just 30 days old after 100 days, and after 2 years after the explosion, it looked just 60 days old. The supernova still remains a mystery.
And for all the news you could possibly need regarding RMU sports and arts and entertainment, be sure to check out RMU-CenturyMedia.com.
And coming up after the break, weather forecaster Tyler Schlendorn will be in our weather center with a look at this weekend's forecast.
And our sports anchor Matt Simkovic will be back with all the RMU sports information you need.
Up in the aftermath of a hurricane? Together, you and I can really help. I am fast and versatile. I can be whatever is needed to help you provide important relief when it's most critical. If you want to lend a hand, I can help you reach out and truly touch lives. Even a small donation can make a big difference.
On November 3rd in Hopwood Auditorium, Robert Morris University, join me, Don Luisi, for Bringing the Blues to RMU. This is a live event featuring Pittsburgh's Queen of the Blues, Jill West, and Blues Attack. Along with a screening of Blues Chronicles from the Berg, 3 short documentary profiles of Pittsburgh blues legends Eugene Morgan, Bill Weiner, and Jill West. This tribute to the blues is sponsored by the Blues Society of Western Pennsylvania, the Academic Media Center, and RMU Radio. That's Bringing the Blues to RMU, Friday, November 3rd at 5 p.m., Hopwood Auditorium, Robert Morris University. Admission is free to the public.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Back to RMU Live. My name is Matt Simkovic, and now it's time to get into sports. Last weekend, women's hockey beats Lindenwood twice. Men's hockey tied Holy Cross in Game 1, then beat them in Game 2. Volleyball bests St. Francis 3-2. However, men's soccer was not as lucky, dropping their game against St. Francis U by a score of 4-1. To finish out the weekend, football loses to the Wagner Seahawks by a score of 27-7. This weekend is another big one for the athletics department, as volleyball plays Bryant tonight at 7, men's basketball plays Ohio State tonight at 7, and we have reporters there to live tweet the game, so look out for that. Both hockey teams play RIT tonight, with women's being at home at the Island and men's being up at RIT. Men's soccer plays number 1 St. Francis Brooklyn. Football plays at Central Connecticut on Saturday, and men's hockey plays AIC. Wrapping up the weekend, men's basketball plays at Duquesne on Sunday. Let's check out the forecast for these games with our weatherman, Tyler Schlendorn.
Thanks, Matt. Now let's jump right to today's weather. Today we're going to be having a mostly cloudy day with a high of 31 degrees and a low of 22. As for tomorrow's weather, though, it's going to be very similar with a partially cloudy day with a high of 40 degrees and a low of 28. And now let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. The upcoming week is going to range in the low to high 40s for the high, and the low will range between the high 20s and the high 30s. There will also be showers on Wednesday starting the afternoon and lasting throughout the rest of the day. With the temperature starting to drop, ski resorts are starting to bust out the snowmakers. Pittsburgh area ski resorts haven't released an open day yet, but snow is beginning to blanket the slopes. And now, let's take it to Nick and Reagan back at the desk.
All right, and that's all we have for RMU Live.
We will see you next week. Have a great day.